On July 15th, 2020, we were all treated, people all over around the world, to a very technical fight between Calvin Kattar and Dan Ige. I really want to dissect this, and I'm going to do that with the help of two of the head coaches that were involved that night. We have, from Extreme Couture, Coach Nicksick. What's up?
What's up?
And the New England Cartel, Tyson Chartier, who was involved as well, head coach. What's up? So the fight begins, round one. In your minds, what did you want to see out of your fighter in, say, the first 2.5 minutes of round one? What was the importance for you? We'll start with you, Coach Tyson.
Yeah, so we knew Dan's a very quick starter. He tends to generally win the first round. Obviously, if you look at the last fight, the Barboza fight wasn't that, but he generally, a lot of his fights, he comes out, looks really good in the first round, maybe, takes off the second round or doesn't do as well, kind of takes his foot off the gas pedal, and then comes out strong in the third. So, being a 5-round fight, you want to get momentum. So, our whole thing was we have to win the first round. Come out, maybe if we're going to pace ourselves for 5 rounds, the first round's going to be a little higher because we need to get that win and then make him fight from behind and, we'll have the advantage. So that was the goal going into the first round, was just, we didn't want to give, being a huge favorite, we didn't want to give Dan any sort of confidence going into the second round of we wanted to show him that listen, there's a reason we're 3-1 favorite. We want him to feel that. That was kind of our approach going into the first round. I'd be interested to hear what Eric's team was doing.
Same, set a pace, but be kind of erratic. We didn't want Calvin to find his range on his jab right away. So we had a lot of movement, a lot of feints, a lot of we call it outside work. So you saw him shake step to a southpaw and kind of dart back in. We didn't want Calvin to catch rhythm on his jab right away, because we knew if we can bypass that a little bit, we're going to buy ourselves some time. And same mindset, we wanted to get round one in there, and we wanted to set a good pace. I felt like we were winning round one for the majority of the round, and then aesthetically we gave away some positions there. Calvin started to pick up the pace towards the end of the round and pretty much stole the round away from us. So yeah, that first 2 minutes and 30, I thought Dan did his job well, and then we kind of let off the gas pedal and did some things schematically that we ended up giving the round away, I thought. What
did you talk to Dan about in between rounds on that front?
I just knew that we had the confidence that he belonged. He got in there. He knew what to expect. He got a kind of rhythm of what Calvin was going to bring. And then I think that's even what Dan said to me getting on the stool, is I got his timing now. I know what we're looking at here. And that's why I think, round two was a little bit more successful on our part. So that was really it. On the stool, it was never too high, never too low after round one. It's a 5-round fight. If you win round one, don't think this is the way the whole fight's going to end up. And if you lose round one, don't think this is the whole fight is lost in this first round. So kind of have a happy medium between the two.
Coach Tyson, what was your interpretation of round one? Were you fairly confident you guys had won it, and what instructions did you share with Calvin?
I wasn't stressing, hey, we won the first round. I didn't even address whether we won or lost. I just kind of went into, hey, we need more volume, because I think it was the first 90 seconds Calvin didn't even throw a punch. So that takedown helped us win the round, and so really it was just about, hey, let's keep the center, let's stop giving ground so much. You're giving him confidence, and let's hold the center and then come forward with more volume and go first.
So round two comes around, guys, and things start to turn around a little bit. This round was given across the board to Dan Ige. Coach Tyson, what were some of the things that didn't happen in round two that maybe Dan did well or that Calvin didn't?
Yeah, so I think it was it's a combination of both. Obviously, Dan's a good blitzer.
Beautiful left hook there from Ige.
He comes in with a big two to the body or an overhand two, and then ends with the hook. And if he gets you moving backwards on it, that's where he lands a lot of his shots that drop people. So we were really focusing on trying to hold the middle and come down the middle when he blitzed on us. But Calvin he just kept moving backwards a little bit. And in the second round, he got caught with one of those hooks. And that's what made his nose bleed. So I think, it made the announcers more worried than we were. But it was really just we let Dan get into a rhythm. Kudos to Dan for staying aggressive, staying in our face. The second round was frustrating. and that's where we were really trying to make some adjustments going into the third.
I'm glad you brought up the nose. This is something I wanted to ask you, Coach Nicksick, about. It's something that the announcers did bring up, and I believe Calvin had mentioned this in some interviews leading up.
Potentially broken nose
I think it was broken coming in, Mike. Because we asked him how's the nose doing. He said we'll see.
You know how it is when the announcers bring it up, when it gets out on social media, it becomes a big deal. Eric, were you aware of the nose, and was that anything that in particular that once he did land that shot, was that something that you guys instructed to keep going that way? Did you feel like it was starting to affect Calvin a little bit?
No, I mean, it was nothing like, hey, let's jump on his nose. I think that's just a target in anything that you throw inherently. I mean, I knew he broke his nose in the Jeremy Stevens fight because he publicized that, and I just know Calvin's one of the grittiest, toughest dudes. I didn't think of it as being much of more of an issue. Of course, you're going to keep hitting that thing no matter what, but it wasn't like, let's center our focus on finding his nose.
Round 3 was a little bit of a closer round on the official judges' cards. 2 gave it to Calvin, 1 gave it to Dan. Your thoughts at the end of round 3, where were you guys at mentally? And I want to know roughly what were you thinking going into round 4?
We got on the stool, and Calvin said, what round we going into? Because, long, we wasn't like rocks or anything, but, long fights, you can lose track round, so you want to make sure. I was like, hey, we're going into 4, and he's like, where are we at? And I said, hey, round 1 was us, round 2, I don't know, and then round 3, who knows? And I was like, so we gotta go. I was like, and then I just said to him, hey, listen, like, you want to fight for a title someday. These are the championship rounds. This is 4th and 5th. We got to put a statement on these rounds. These are the rounds you got to win and show everybody that you're a headliner. And got back to the same thing. Like, it's not rocket science. Don't let him blitz. Don't let him get momentum. And keep trying to work the body. And
same. I just started talking about the gas pedal, and putting more volume together, more up downs. I didn't really feel that there was an avenue to wrestle, but I wanted Calvin to feel like we had some level change still available, just to see if we get that lead hand to drop. I know that 4 and 5 for Dan, the volume started to drop, so I'm trying to get him remotivated and get him back in there.
Round 5 is about to begin. This is the final round here. What are the last instructions that you give your fighter?
I knew we were down, but what I told him was, hey, look, here's what I want, is I want us to build off of these next 5 minutes. That these next 5 minutes are going to carry over into that next fight. Like, I want to leave here with something to build off of. Of course you want the knockout. Of course you need the finish. All those things come into play in that 5th round. But I want you to have a carryover effect. This 5th round is going to catapult you into the next fight.
Yeah, my thing is I'm starting to think, okay, we got this fight. We're probably up 3-1. I really felt like a finish over someone as tough as Dan Ige would really open up other doors that might not be finished with a decision. So my feedback was like, listen, we need more volume. We're holding back. Like, we can finish this kid, but you gotta go. Like, we have to go first. We have to go. We have to hold the cage. And I even said to him, I go, listen, if you want to fight for a belt someday, like, you do that by finishing guys. Like, let's get out there, show everybody why you should be a top 5 guy. Let's go earn a title shot. And then, he didn't tell me till after the fight. Both hands hurt, and that's why he wasn't. So I give this big speech. I think it's like all rah rah, and then he's like, yeah, but both my hands are swollen. I couldn't really throw punches. So I was like, all right, thanks. We didn't want to go against you guys, so it was. I'm glad it's over with. And me and Rob and Calvin were all talking. We were like, listen, like, we love these guys. Like, we do spend a lot of time in Vegas, so you'll be seeing a lot of us more at a shooting couture when we're out there at the PI and stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a complete honor to compete against you guys. You've always had my back in the industry. You and I have always talked about things like outside of the coaching realm that I don't think a lot of people understand. And you've always been one of the good guys I think that we've leaned on, especially on the road. We're able to kind of talk and bounce ideas off of. But we're a small fraternity of coaches that take a lot of shit and deal with a lot of bullshit on that flip side. And dude, it couldn't happen to a better guy. I mean, there was no loser in this fight. I was so happy for you guys, and I just know that you guys have the talent to go and get this strap. So if it was going to be anybody, I was glad it was you guys.
Yeah, man, it means a lot. It's we've had these conversations before. I think there's just a lot of I said it, and I said it, a bunch of times to other people. There's a lot of trainers in MMA, but there's not a lot of coaches. And,
Right.
There's a big difference. Trainer's a guy that shows up, he hits mitts for you, holds mitts, whatever. But he's not the guy that's going to bed thinking. Put it this way: he's not the guy when the fighter feels sick at 12:30 or 3 in the morning. He's not calling his trainer; he's calling his coach. And I think that's what you're one of the few that I think fall into that category. So, I wish I'd not have to compete against you guys.
Yeah, bro. Likewise, man. Well, I love you, dude. And that's what we do, and this is what we sign up for. And it's nothing but the best. And at the end of the day, this is something we get to tell our kids about.